and today we're gonna read The Magic Tree of Merlin Mission Book 27, Night of the 19 Dragon Story. Now Jack and Annie were gonna save the Camelot by the 19 dragon, the golden dragon. Now it's chapter 4, just us. I think Jack and Annie are saying, we are the people to save the Camelot. It's just us. Now, let's start. Jack gasped. He couldn't believe it. Oh, here we go. Started at chapter 4, just us. Jack gasped. He couldn't believe it. Oh no, said Annie. Yes, right now we have a small sloppy of healing water from Evelyn that is keeping Arthur alive, said Carnival. But it will not last much longer. What can we do? Said Jack. Your courage and intelligence are legendary in Camelot, said the Queen, and that's why I sent for you. Will you help me find a gold dragon so the king can journey to Avalon and where Morgan can save his life? Yes, said Annie. And Jack, thank you, said Queen. He awaits us now. You mean King Arthur is here? Said Annie. Yes, Sir Teason and Sir Lamoureux brought him back to Camelot 2 nights ago, said Carnival. Let us go now and see the king. Oki scampered ahead of the Queen as she led the way back to the library and down the passageway to the staircase. When they returned to the liner country over to the castle, they crossed to the cobblestones to the small private chapel. And Jack had picked up Oki, and the Queen tapped into the chapel's door, and the door slowly opened. The bearded knight stared at Jack and Annie with a battle-worn knight and stepped from the shadows. When Oki growled at 2 knights, Jack held him tighter. Quiet, he whispered. Sir Lamoureux, Sir Teason, Jack and Annie have arrived, said the Queen. It's time to prepare. Without a word, the 2 knights have bowed to the Queen and then strode across to the country yard. Carnival motioned for Jack and Annie to step inside to the candlelit chapel. Thank you for coming, my friends, a man said in the low, hoarse voice. King Arthur was sitting in the cave in a wooden chair beneath the stained glasses window. In the flickering candlelight, the king's rugged, handsome face was very pale. Yep. Oki leapt into Jack's arms and dashed towards King Arthur. Oki, stay, said Jack. And then before she could grab him, Puppy jumped into King's lap. What is this? Arthur scrambled, but when the puppy licked his face, the king smiled. Well, greetings, little one, he said. When he looked up at Jack and Annie, his eyes clouded with the pain. Oh, your majesty, said Jack, bowing. Oh, your majesty, echoed Annie, bowing also. We are sorry to hear you're wounded. No talk of that, the king said, struggling to breath. I will prevail. And the queen stepped forward. Arthur, rest, she said. I'll tell them our plan. No, I must explain, said the king. He took a deep breath, and as if gathering his spirit, when he trembling, he leaned forward. Deep in the forest sleeps an old woman, a seer who has a kind of heart and gift a prophecy. An old friend, my nursemaid long ago. Her name is Kathleen. She can help us find a good gold dragon. That sounds good, your majesty, said Annie. Yes, yes, the king said, and the tree leaves speak to her. In the wind, do you understand? Yes, your majesty, said Annie. Jack nodded, but he was a little worried that King might have lost his mind. Carnival placed his hand on her husband's shoulder. When Arthur was a boy, Kathleen told him that the wind speaks to draw the rustling to her leaves, and her trance listened to the trees when it cheers the prepares from the riddles. That's why we sent for you, said the King Arthur. We know that is perfectly brilliant at solving riddles, said Gunnable. If you can solve a riddle Kathleen's prophecy, we can find the gold dragon. We'll do our best, your majesty, said Annie. Sure, said Jack, nodding. We'll do the best, your majesty. Good, said the king. Sir Thurston and Sir Landmark are preparing to be captured. Cool, said Jack. He was glad that the knights were traveling with them. Hopefully they could come with a better plan. Let us go, said the king. No, not you, my lord, the Queen Gunnable said. You should rest here and wait for us to return with the dragon. But I must go, said the king. I fear you should not, said Gunnable. I will tell Kathleen. No, I must go, said the king replied. She will share her properties only with me. The queen took a deep breath. Then so be it, she said, and she looked at Jack and Annie. Please help the king rise. Jack and Annie stepped over the wounded king and then held his arms, stood up from the carved wooden chair. Thank you, let us go forth, said the king. Oki scampered ahead to Jack and Annie and helped the Arthur out of the castle. And the queen slowly led them all across the country yard toward the gatehouse. A rumbling sound came to the stables. Jack turned into Sir Thurston and Sir Landmark driving a wooden hay cart across the country yard. A pair of oxen put a four-wheeled cart as it wobbled over to cobblestones. And Oki rushed forward and barked at the oxen. Jacob hurried over to Puppy and grappled him. This is our courage, said the queen. No one will suspect the king was riding the hay cart. Let's go forth, said the king. Oh, now Jack was glad to see two knights again, but he wondered how such a small, wrinkly cart could be carried all 6 people. And would be he and Annie be walking? The oxen came to the help, and then the knight have climbed over to driver's bench, and the Sir Landmark have grabbed the ladder to the clocks from the back of the cart and handed it to Arthur and Gunnable. And the queen have helped into king and pulled his disgust, and when he trade over to green velvet cap for his patched gray cloak with a good hood to hide in her golden hair. Don't your disgust now, she said to Jack and Annie. Sir Thurston handed Jack and Annie to 2 more rack clocks. Thank you, said Jack. He and Annie pulled the clocks over to their clothes. 2 knights helped the king and the queen climb over to the shipkins, and then sprayed over to the hay. And the Sir Thurston have handed to the ladder water when a flask of a gunful, and the knights step away. And then the knights have stepped away. And Oki had barked and screamed over to Annie's arms as if he was eager to try the hay cart too. Should he stay back with us? The queen asked Jack and Annie. Or sit with you while you drive the cart? Drive the cart? Won't the knights be driving the cart? Jack wondered. Do you really want Jack and me to drive, Your Majesty? Said Annie. Yes, of course, said the Queen. Cool. Then, okay, should ride with you, said Annie. She placed the puppy in the back of the cart. King Arthur was lying at the hay with the eyes closed. Take care of him, Oki, whispered Annie. The puppy scrambled over to King and snuck against him. Okay, let's go, said Jack. He and Annie climbed to the driver's bench, and as he picked up the reins, Jack had looked at Sir Tristan and Sir Landmark standing near the gatehouse. The knight must be planning to ride horses along the cart, he thought. Hike, said Annie shouted, using a command they learned from the Alaskan duck's letters. What? Wait, said Jack. He looked back at the Queen. Should we take first Sir Tristan and Sir Landmark to get with the horses, Your Majesty? No, Jack, we will be traveling around, said the Carnival. If we come across the enemy, they must be believing for a simple family apart from the couple traveling our 2 children. Sounds good, said Annie, and when she called out to the oxen again, hike. It's just us. Jack thought, what us? And the oxen took a few steps forward. Their neck broke like a hitched wooden pole acted to the front cart, and they lumbered through over to the stones of a country yard. The cart rumbled along behind them, and the Sir Tristan had raced to the iron gate and steered over to the main entrance to the castle. The oxen handed across the outer country yard and waved to 2 knights who silently watched them leave. See you later, she called. The knights each raised his hand in farewell. Here we go, said Annie. Here we go, Jack replied softly. Just us. And the hay of a cart clattered through the gateway, leading to the castle of a camlet behind. Now Jack and Annie are going to explore and get the golden dragon. Now they're going to explore with this cart. Now we're gonna be amazing explore. Maybe tomorrow we have the new beginning new stories or this beginning of these stories. Okay, if we have enough time to read all of them, I'm gonna read all of them for today afternoon, and then when I can't read all of this, then tomorrow we have this begin the new stories because of the new chapter. And now bye bye everybody. Bye bye everybody, and have a nice day. Bye.